game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Go4SC2 Cup, where we have a pretty awesome ZvZ best of 3 here in the quarterfinals, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Overgrowth as the red Zerg player. We have Targa, ladies and gents, and he actually just defeated, spoiler alert if you don't want to hear it, Bly, before getting to this point. That game will also be going up on YouTube later on, so that's pretty exciting stuff, and he's facing off against another very, very good and very young Zerg player over here in the top right-hand corner, playing for mYinsanity, ladies and gents. We have Reynor. So, for those of you who don't know, Reynor, incredibly young, I believe just 13 years of age. I got to see him meet Solar as well, actually, at DreamHack Stockholm. A wonderful little kid, and he's actually wise beyond his years, in my opinion. I saw him, Maddles was interviewing him, for instance, and... you know, he's obviously still quite young, but you could see he was very, very mature for his age, and he has a good ethic towards pro gaming. And at that age, that's a really good sign that this guy might be around for a number of years to come. So, let's keep an eye out on how well he fares here against Targa, who has gone for the 15 pool. And it looks like we're going to be seeing a hatch first out of Reynor. So, nothing too complicated here to start this game off. And, well, not an awful lot going on right now. Targa has been doing quite well in online cups recently. In fact, I would say he's arguably had a little bit of a resurgence of form. And that's because online he's just been doing better. He's been reaching more and more of the finals of online cups. Whereas before, I would say about 6 months ago, perhaps he was in a little bit of a slump. So it's really nice to see him do well for himself here. Now, both sides, of course, will have completed those spawning pools, gases, and hatcheries, just in a little bit of a different order. We see Reynor actually going for the pool now, and then the gas. Of course, this will all even out in the end, guys, even though we've got the earlier queen from having the spawning pool inside the main base, as far as Targa is concerned. He will get the earlier inject, so that's always useful to remember as well. So even though we'll have the earlier larva from the natural expansion here, there are no queens to inject these hatcheries with just yet, because Reynor's spawning pool is simply quite far behind. It basically evens out to a relatively neck-and-neck game here, and there's no real advantage being taken by either side at the moment in this game. So we finally have a couple of links coming out here from Targa, going to be scouting and seeing what Reynor has up his sleeve. And Targa will see that actually this looks like a fairly normal opening, and there's nothing for him to be worried about so far. Both sides still just on the one gas, of course, only 4 minutes into this game, so nothing out of the ordinary there. And it looks like a single drone is going to get nibbled at a little bit. Will just about get fended off. We've got a couple of lings of his own here coming out from Reynor. And it, oh, very nicely microed there, actually. And dear, oh dear, both of Targa's Zerglings survive and both of Reynor's die. That must be a frustrating position for him to be in. And Reynor, has he for, well, he's on 28 out of 28 supply right now. And he's, wow, he's going straight for a baneling nest. He is not waiting at all. So, gonna have to extract a trick there to get an extra worker or two out. But it looks like he's going for huge aggression. But then again, so is Targa. Take a look at this. We've got the baneling nest going down now inside his main base as well. So, things potentially looking up here for Targa if he can maintain this advantage and win the Zergling baneling fight. But as we all know, this is a ZvZ. 2 baneling hits, or even just 1 baneling hit can change the entire outcome of this game. So we are set for a rather explosive middle game here, which could end the game very abruptly. This is a best of 3, remember. It's not a best of 1. So a lot of things can happen between now and the end of the game. 16 Zerglings now popping for Targa. He's going to be running across the map with those ASAP. Is he going to want to pull any at his natural expansion? It looks like he's pulling them for a little bit, but he doesn't want to wait too long with the baneling nest completing now as well. And here we go. 2 banelings actually morphing in at the 3rd base location. Ooh, very, very nice. Cancelling one of them to allow the other one to kill off both of these Zerglings. Good little bit of micro there. Trying to make this into another baneling. Unfortunately, it's not going to work on this occasion. Targa's going to have to move back. But now, he has a lot more lings coming through at the natural expansion. That's a ridiculous number of banelings. Reynor currently doesn't have that many. In fact, he has, well... wow, not many at all. He just has the 1, and we have about 6, 7 getting ready to pop out right now. And here we go. 7 banelings, ladies and gentlemen. Targa Banes going inside the natural expansion, trying to go after the Zerglings first, successfully picking off a ridiculous number of them. And, ooh, Little bit of a misclick there. Two of them go off on the Baneling Nest. I'm not certain that's what he wanted to do. Reynor currently at 39 supply versus the 50 from Targa, though. If we take a look, workers are actually fighting right now. It's 28 to 29 workers. Targa currently still ahead, but the worker supply surprisingly even at the moment. You have a couple more Banelings and Zerglings trying to get inside the main base right now. Not actually doing that great a job of it so far. Good detonations on the Queen because it's about to die, I think. But there's a Baneling that could end up being the saving grace. A bunch of Lings as well. And wow, that Queen manages to survive on the ramp. The Baneling Nest survives. 40 to 53 supply at the moment. And Targa continuing just to move more and more Banelings and Zerglings across the map. 29 to 25 supply. Now 33 as Targa begins to drone up behind this. So, if Targa doesn't win with this attack, he's basically saying, look, I just want to be ahead. Are you okay with that? Because I'm going to be able to go into this middle game with an advantage right now. Very, very high-octane situation right now. Wow, those Banelings almost went into the middle line. Thought better of it in the end. One of them goes off. Two of them go off. There's one more on the ramp there. A lot of explosions inside the middle line. And Targa actually did not come off the better at the end of that fight, but he's still got a couple of Lings inside the middle line, and that's going to be enough for him to keep the pressure on Reynor at this time. He's got a 10 supply advantage. Reynor now has a spine crawler up as well. The worker supply is 40 to 29 in Targa's favor. Reynor, though, doing the correct thing, continuing to drone up behind this, but so is Targa, and that leaves him in an advantageous position now, going into the 9-minute mark. So let's take a look at what he's got going on back home, shall we? We've got the Evo Chamber popping down, just the one by the looks of things, at the natural expansion here for him. Nothing too much else. We haven't gone to a lair yet or anything like that. Reynor, in the meantime, has gone up to his lair, and he's just started his Spire as well. So he's going to try and weather the storm here by seizing that air superiority, and I think he should be able to do so moving forward. So now we have a little bit of a tussle. The question is, how much can Reynor do with these Mutalisks? Of course, Targa back home can simply plant a whole bunch of Spore Crawlers down. That basically stops Mutalisks in their tracks. But what the Mutas from Reynor will be able to do is he'll be able to establish map control. You won't have stuff like this coming across the middle of the map because half of them will be dead by the time they get to the base. And he'll be able to try and take his third base while limiting a third of his opponent. That's basically his goal here. One Queen going down there. A little bit carelessly, I have to say, having the injured Queen out front there for Reynor. Is he going to be able to hold on to the second Queen? It looks like it, but a bunch of Lings are now inside the main base. Oh my goodness. I don't think he's even going to get a chance to use these Mutalisks at this point. That was just a really nice run by from Targa here, and it looks like this could spell the end of Reynor in game number 1. He's down to 38 supply versus 56 right now, and there are Banelings morphing inside the main base. That is really a big, big issue here for him. And, well, one of these Banelings... Oh, wow. Not even one of these Banelings going down here. There we go. One going down, but the second one might be able to get a massive connection over here at these drones. There we go. 40 to 61 at the moment, and Targa is continuing to rally a whole bunch of Lings. Now, the first Mutalisks are on their way for Reynor, but he's only got 2 of them on the way, and only 100 gas left in reserve as well, so he's not going to have the Muta numbers to get very much done here. And that worries me slightly because Targa continuing to come in here with some Lings. Yes, there are Mutas out on the field in about 3 seconds, but no, they're not going to make that much difference at this stage. He really needs them sort of in numbers upwards of 7 or 8. They're now flying out, and instead of harassing the opponent, all he's doing is a little bit of harassment damage on these Lings. Targa sees the Mutas, he's saying, you know what, I'm just going to ignore these outright and see what I can do about... Oh, he needs to be careful for that Baneling on the ramp. Really nice micro there. And Targa moving up. He's got a lot of Banelings actually coming up as well. Is it going to make a difference? Oh, the Spine Crawl is getting low. The Baneling Nest is actually almost dead as well for Reynor, and these Mutalisks continue to try and do a good job. A couple of Lings get into the main base, but not enough to really warrant a problem. Baneling Nest still alive with 49 hit points. Spine Crawler still alive with 86 hit points. And Reynor at the moment is definitely holding on. But it is actually holding on. We're going to be transitioning from Targa's side into Roach. We've got Glial Reconstitution and the +1 missile attacks incoming for him as well. And he's going to be going for a Hydralisk Den. The worker count as it currently stands is 51 to 38. Targa maintains a healthy lead while taking a third base behind that as well. And really it's the third base that unfortunately is most likely going to spell the end of this game for Reynor. The fact that he can't use these Mutalisks to deny the third, because there's only 3 of them, means that Targa's going to be able to hold on to this advantage. We always knew he was going to have an advantage once he won the initial Zergling and Baneling fight, but the question is, could Reynor come back with a counter-attack once the Spire got down? The answer, unfortunately for Reynor, is no. The Mutalisks just don't have enough numbers to be that effective. And unfortunately, Reynor in this game, he is playing hold on and hope Targa makes a big mistake. And, you know, these are pro players, but mistakes do happen even at the highest level. So it's always fine to play as good as you can and see if you can't stay in. That's a lot of queens coming out across the map here, trying to clear a path by the looks of things as far as vision is concerned, so that he will be able to move out with this Roach Hydra. Actually supply blocking Reynor as well, 66 out of 60. That's going to be really frustrating for him because he's only just started his replacement Overlord. The queen's moving across now as well. A bunch of Hydralas looking like they're going to get caught. And 3 of them go down cheaply there in the middle of the map, but the rest of the army now has decided to catch up. The queens are going to be marching across very, very slowly. No Hydraless speed by the looks of things, guys. And, well, this is one of the slower pushes I've seen, but maybe it'll work. And actually, these Banelings might not be a bad choice against the Hydras. It's not like they can move and split that effectively right now. So we'll see. We've got no group spines. We've also got no Hydra speed. So just none of the upgrades on the Hydras to confirm that. And we have Lings and Mutas to try and defend this. The Hydra's going to be able to do a good amount of DPS. Is it going to be enough, though? Here come the Banelings. They're going to get ready to come down the ramp as soon as the Hydras get in position. There are no Roaches to tank the damage here. And here come the Banelings. The Hydras see them. Good amount of DPS actually using the Queens. And, well, that's about as good as the engagement could get. Targa only losing 3 Hydralists there thanks to the Queens tanking a lot of the damage. So the Roaches weren't required at the end of the day. That is how slow those Banelings are without speed. More of them are being morphed in. We have a lot of Mutas now and Zerglings. He's going to try and flank from both sides, but look at the amount of DPS. Every single time Reynor pulls back, he's actually losing a couple units for free, and he needs every single unit he can get in this defense right now. And here we go. The Mutas coming in from behind. We have the Banelings going in to the clump of Hydras, doing a good job that time. Those are the kind of hits he really wanted initially, but it's not going to be enough. GG is called, and Targa, after applying relentless pressure, is going to take down myi's Reynor here in game number 1.